I'm from the
Same place as trap music, this that first react music. They can't hold me back, I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch this, my flow I can't rush this. Put them on silence when I'm talking, you should hush bitch. I am from the heavy base, my bro called a heavy case. Got a couple
Happy holidays and good evening to everybody out there. Welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live, where we define, examine, and analyze words, sayings, and phrases used in American culture. And tonight, we will be smoking on the word hip-hop. So grab your thinking caps and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds. Myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God, Ali, Dawood L, and BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God. How you feeling?
Peace, God. Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Everything is everything, man. Yo, it's almost the end of the damn year, man. Like it's it's almost next year for real, bro. So I'm thankful, man, that I'm making it. 2025 has been an aggressive year on life and on death, right? So for everybody that is suffering, condolences. Everybody that's struggling, keep your head up. Tomorrow's another day, and we get an opportunity. So yeah, man.
We get an opportunity to do what, God? What do we get an opportunity to do?
Be the very best version of ourselves, God. Like that's all we got every single day is an opportunity to be the best version of ourselves. Like if we don't take that opportunity, or if we see that as something as too simple or too regular or too easy, man, we're gonna stay in a rut. And I ain't with ruts, God. I like to do stuff.
Yeah, like to be peaceful, positive, and productive.
Facts.
Actually, not just saying it, but living it.
Facts.
I mean, that don't mean we can't turn up. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted, But at the same time, we got to support our interests and live. As always, I am thankful for another day above ground. Man, like you said, the end of the year is upon us. We got Kwanzaa coming up. We got Merry Christmas for those who celebrate that too. Hanukkah, all that good stuff, the Yuletide, the mistletoe, and all that good stuff. Real quick, y'all, we gonna have a Christmas show, so make sure to tune in. It's probably gonna be early. We haven't discussed the time yet, but we're gonna do a Christmas show, and we're gonna be asking, is Christmas bad, good, or understood? So check in with us on what is it, Christmas Day. Christmas Day. Yeah, everybody know when Christmas Day is, so we definitely gonna have a good time talking about the word Christmas. But before we get to tonight's show, also y'all, for the holidays, we're keeping the holiday theme right now at the DBCHEFTV gift shop. We got 25% off all merch. The links are in the description, and also go check out www.bksoulfarm.com for 1016 160 self-sustainability by the God Ali Dawood L. Right now, perfect stocking stuffers. We got y'all covered. Let's jump into tonight's questions for the word hip-hop. So, our first question of the evening, as always, what do you think of when you hear the word hip-hop? Second question, what are your likes, love, and hates about hip-hop? Third, is hip-hop the most powerful form of music today? Why or why not? 4, who are your top 5 hip-hop artists, dead or alive, and why? And last but not least, Our fifth question, is the word hip hop bad, good, or misunderstood? And if you're new to the show, y'all, you know, we always ask you, go ahead and smash that like button. But what we do here is we define the words and we answer our first question before we go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary to get the true definition of the word. So, jumping into our first question tonight, what do you think of when you hear the word hip hop? The God Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
So for me, when I hear hip hop, the the first thing I think about is revolutionary music. I think about our music. I think about our culture, right? And I'm not defining our at this moment. I'm just saying um, something homegrown, right? I think of I think of graffiti. I think of,
Graffiti.
right. I think about the way the trains be looking, like when every car is colorful, right? Like not the raggedy like everything's just tagged up and it's just like the wars, but the actual like the first time it was done. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Before somebody tagged over it to prove a point. Like I like our expression. Um, because here in North America, it is nothing but struggle and strife and hardship for the most part to get up and get through this thing, right? For the most part, nobody has it easy. And with hip hop, I'm not no historian at all. I'm only based it off of my experience and my knowledge. Um, it's a whole culmination of our music and our ability to grab what's available and make it do what it do, right? Like we took all the blues, the jazz, the funk, the rock, like they sample every damn thing. It don't even matter. And
Yeah.
and it don't even be like the whole thing of a thing. It'd be like a small section
A
of
break.
right, and they turn that
Yeah.
into a whole thing, and like that's fire, like that thought process to even do something like that makes me proud of us, right? Makes me proud to be a part of that experience in that generation, right? And so that's those are the things I think about, right? Like positively, but then I start thinking about all the fuck shit, right? Because you got hip hop culture, but then you got the music industry, right, or the music business, so I say,
Mm-hmm.
right, and that comes in and culture vultures every goddamn thing because this is America and everybody want more money for the most part, right? And when somebody's gonna pay you to 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 make a certain sound or pay you to dumb it down or pay you to have a certain influence, it's easy to just take the money here in America, right? Where you
Yeah,
know
we're gonna get into that though.
yeah, that's right.
We're
So
gonna
yeah.
get onto that though. You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I
those
think of. That's what I think of. I think about the freedoms. I think about the expressions, but also I think about how it can be negatively used by the business of it all.
yeah.
That's what I got.
But no doubt. No doubt. So when I think of hip hop, man, where do I start? Where do I begin? Um, World class wrecking crew, um, Dougie Fresh, Run DMC, LL Cool J,
Right.
um, KRS One, Rakim, Schoolie D, Spice One, Coogee Rap, Scarface, the Ghetto Boys, Uncle Luke, Outkast, the whole Dungeon family. You know, Razcast.
Oh man.
Exhibit. Eminem is hip hop. I mean, so many people, so many talented, such a creative genre of music. And like you were saying, the struggle that manifested from jazz and blues and funk and soul and, you know, all of those other things that we created, you know, the breakdancing, the graffiti, the lingo. Yeah, like, you know, just to put on something, the Slick Ricks, you know, in the children's story, and the Dana Danes and the Kool Moe Dees and the Big Daddy Kanes, you know, like when I think of the Naughty by Nature, hip hop parades, and you know what I'm saying, like just all of those, like that's Heavy D, you know, when it was cool to dance, you know, before people went to the club to watch everybody else, not dance.
It was cool to dance. You went there to dance.
You know, the female groups, the JJ Faz, the Stetsasonics, the MC Light, Queen Latifah. You know, like everybody, all the female. I ain't gonna do it to it right now, but like hip hop. You know, hip hop. When women called themselves queen something. You know, Sister Soldier. Things like that. You know, that's what I think about that's what comes to mind when I think about, or when I hear the word hip hop. You know, all of those things pop up in my brain. So many things. It's just like, it's about to be a party. You know, it's finna be a party. We're gonna rock the party. It's gonna be fun. And you might learn something as well. You know, something that's beneficial. You might learn something. Hip hop is one of them things that, like with the fashion. I think of the fashion. You know, all of the trends and stuff like that. That started. We even see that today. You know, it's just an enormous bubble of culture and influence. So, yeah, that's what I think about when I hear the word hip hop. That just all
dope,
of those things. Yeah, just like, you know, like that's even what inspires me. You know, has inspired me my whole life. You know, being introduced, and I still listen to jazz today.
Yeah.
Funk. You know, all the oldies and stuff like that. Cause I'm not an early 70s baby. I'm a late 70s baby.
Facts.
You know, so, but I got to see hip hop become hip hop, be invented and cultivated and, you know, and transformed into what it is today. So always, I always think that our generation had the best hip hop.
I agree.
You know, I always think that, just because we had the variety. I'm on that because I think we had more variety than what the youth has today, the younger people have today, you know.
Yeah, we had a whole culture of no biting.
Yeah, it was about authenticity.
Right, like a whole culture about not sounding like anybody else, by not looking like anybody else, by not can't nobody possibly think or mistake you for somebody else.
At least not with your rhyming, you know.
Yeah,
The fashion is the fashion,
yeah.
you know. Fashion is the fashion. But even like the fashion with like the jackets with the spray paint where you get the Snoopy and the you got the Peanuts characters on there, and you got the Mickey Mouse uh and Minnie Mouse and the whole Disney characters and all that, and that stuff was spray painted where you just or get your name on it, get your name
Hell yeah.
and stuff like that, the jeans with the names and pictures and stuff, like all that stuff was cool. And we don't see that type of fashion in the within hip hop today. We see more so like, you know, some things I hate, but we'll get to that when we get to the question. Definitely. So yeah, y'all. So we have been answering our first question. What do you think of when you hear the word hip hop? And you know what? Before we move to the definition tonight, we got a guest that's gonna be joining us to help us break down the word hip hop tonight. So bienvenidos al programa Mi Primo El Señor Temporada de Frío, aka Cold Seasons. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you for having me. Can you hear
Thank
me
you for
fine?
yeah, we got you, Lima Charlie. How you doing this evening?
All right,
Peace,
tenfold,
God.
tenfold.
Peace,
Yes,
God.
peace. I don't know how to get my sound to come out just yet, so I got to rock it with the headphones tonight. So
It's all good.
yeah,
It's
Now,
all
you know
good.
how to
I had
get.
to get on y'all level with the mic and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, welcome to the high life.
Yes, sir.
But check it out though. We just have been answering our first question of the evening. So we're gonna bring that back up there real quick so you can check this out. What do you think of when you hear the word hip hop?
I think of culture. I think it is a culture. It's not just people just wanting to rap or just find a way out. I think in the long run, hip hop tells a story, and it's surrounded in the culture of the people that's telling the story. I think it's our one of our communication mechanisms that we use to, get our thoughts and our words out.
No doubt. No doubt. One of our communication mechanisms. I like it.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot, God.
Definitely. So let us know what y'all think in the chat. And we are going to go ahead and bring up tonight's definition of the word hip hop. So we can find out what hip hop is all about. So we are smoking on the word hip hop, y'all. And right now we have the definition of hip hop. It is a noun. And one, it says a stylized.
Hey, God, you're not showing it right now.
Are we not there?
No, you was, but it clicked off.
Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. Bam. There we
you
go. Okay. So we got hip hop, a stylized rhythmic music of African American origin. that typically features rapping or sampled tracks. B, or hip hop dance, or less commonly hip hop dance or hip hop dance, syncopated dancing, typically performed to hip hop music. 2, a cultural movement associated especially with rap music. And then we'll go over to the thesaurus.
That was huge right there.
And there isn't anything synonymous with hip hop other than hip hop. No synonyms.
That's
For
right.
what?
All
For
right.
what?
So we got 1, a stylized style. The word hip hop has style in it. And that's what we was talking about, the fashion, the graffiti, the cadences, the rhyme flows, the different styles, the authenticity, the originality, all of these things. A stylized rhythmic music with the beats, with the samples, with the sample tracks, the break beats, the samples of African American origin that typically features rapping. And then we go down to number 2, a cultural movement associated especially with rap music. So for all those people that always want to say, is there a difference between rap and hip hop? We're going to clear the air tonight, right here on Cigar Sundays Live. You can't have rap without hip hop, and you can't have hip hop without rap. Because hip hop is the genre. Rapping is what's going on within the genre. It's just like jazz, they playing instruments. The same thing,
Nah, that's facts.
okay? So for all of these, foolish conversations that people be having talking about the difference between rap is this or it's this and that, or it's that and this, and no, hip hop and rap is the same thing. Okay, hip hop is the culture, rap is the thing that you're listening to. So if you don't know, now you know. Player.
There you go.
Yo, God, number 2 literally says is a culture,
A
is a
cultural movement.
cultural movement, right? So that must mean that African Americans must have a culture, right? Um, if the second definition of hip hop is our cultural movement associated with rap music, so we gotta take that. Hip hop is ours, right?
Definitely.
Like
Definitely. Yeah.
not so much just ours, but it's our culture, right? Whether you like it or not, it's something that you should embrace because it's something that your people created and celebrate and promote, right? So all those uppity ass black folks that's like, that's that
Nigga
ghetto,
shit.
that's that nigga shit, right? Like the reality is like you shitting on yourself in real life because no matter how you feel about them niggas, they might not be niggas. They might just look like niggas to you.
What do a nigga look like?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Hey, that's another show right there, man. That's a whole another
What
show.
do a nigga look
What a
like?
nigga look like.
I
What
don't
do a
know.
nigga look like? Cause I want to know. Cause I've been
Uh,
called a nigga, and I'm like, damn, do I look like a nigga?
Do I act
So
like a nigga? What's going
am
on?
I acting like a nigga? Cause that's not that's up for debate, right?
Correct.
yeah,
But
I wouldn't even have a definition.
but definitely something you were saying, God, just now. Everybody don't have to embrace hip hop. All African American people do not have to embrace hip hop. And this is why I say this. Because this is why I just disagree with that statement in part. The reason why is because when history is failed to be taught about the cultural inception of hip hop, and you're born in a place where you just get what's the new now. And the new now from where what it has transformed into, when we get to our second question, that becomes destructive. So I argue to say that it's a whole generation of young African American males who would probably be a lot further had they never even been introduced to hip hop. Not the hip hop we had in our age demographic, but the hip hop that we see now. And the dynamic of everything is just violence and other things that that I hate, that I'm going to be that I'm going to express during our next question. You know, so the statement seemed general, and you know, I agree we're supposed to embrace the hip hop, but if we don't know about the origins or the inception of it, to understand when it was, when we could get value out of it, then we have a whole 20 years of no value, or no value that actually benefits a collective.
This collective.
That is, you know, a discollective.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I'm like, some young people, maybe if they maybe from, like, let's say maybe 2010 to now, or maybe even 2000, I don't know, 2005 maybe. Oh no, 50 was out in 05, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so I think maybe after that 50 Cent era, you know, whenever it just became about you know, shoot up everything, sell it, sell all types of drugs, you know, every woman is a bitch, every woman is a hoe. You know, when it became that, that's why I'm thinking it's a generation of young African American males that have had a more difficult time in navigating in life because of the influence of the music with the culture socially. Because everybody's a follower. We don't have that authenticity no more. Like if I'm just supposed to be the biggest trapper, and everybody else who coming out, if you ain't real, if you ain't trap, or you ain't stepping on shit, you ain't a murderer, then like, where is the originality?
Yeah, well, you
So
know, hip hop, it can definitely be a invitation to ignorance in some cases, you know, because we see a lot of stupid stuff that goes on, like you said, just because a person was introduced to it or grew up on it, you know, the same thing as if you started out at 9 years old watching loving hip hop with your mama, and now you're a grown person and don't know how to act because you was influenced by the bullshit, you know.
that's
Yo,
exactly.
yo, we asking the next question already, God, because
Exactly.
he just said something that I want to talk about.
Yep. So our next question, let us know in the chat, y'all, what you think of when you hear the word hip hop. And our next question is, what are your likes, loves, and hates about hip hop?
Okay.
Yeah, right. So I go. Um, so my hates is everything you was just saying, right? What I hate about it is the culture gets blamed for participating in being manipulated, right? That's why when I was talking about earlier, like all that stuff that you were saying, all the violence, all the drug use, all the prostitution, all the neglect and the abuse, that comes from the business, the music business, right? That because that's how you lose your authenticity, right?
They don't exist. They don't exist without each other though. Like how do
Yeah,
you
I
let me
get that.
ask you this, guy. I'm feeling that. But how do you exist in a paradigm? How do you separate yourself and exist in something and you don't have the mental fortitude to do that? When there's nobody else, that when the majority of things on the outside are not giving you that, giving you the ability to be able to separate yourself.
Yeah,
How?
yeah, nah, it's tough, right? That's why I say like that definition of hip hop just literally said that African Americans have a culture. And a cultural expression they have is called hip hop. You got a bunch of people, a bunch of celebrity super influencers that stand on African Americans don't have nothing. They don't have a culture. They just black. They've never done anything for the world. They have no influences. They have no nothing, right? So a bunch of African Americans also believe that nonsense, right? And when they see the music business that's selling this thing called hip hop, and I can keep a cadence and I can spit a flow, but I'm really just chasing this bag. Is no different than if you believe the story that people got kidnapped from Africa, right? The Africans that got kidnapped and put in slavery compared to the African Americans that was born on the plantation in slavery. Like those two mentalities of people, while they're still on the same land, affected by the same people, got two completely different thought processes. Right. One actually has some knowledge of freedom and has some remnants of what they have lost or what they should hold on to. The other one has been told to them by their enemy what they should hold on to and what they should let go. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like all that stuff you were saying, all the violence, all the drugs, all the negativity, like the music business promotes that and allows for that. And what the guy Freeze was talking about, the love and hip hop, like that's my problem. The enemy gets to put on a show called Love and Hip Hop and tell the world that that's hip hop, and we gotta accept it that that's hip hop because people that play hip hop for the money are in it. So therefore, that's hip hop. Like since when, if hip hop is art is rap, graffiti, DJing, breakdancing, and clothes, where does TV shows come in? Right? If
As
if
far
if,
as what?
if there's five elements of hip hop,
Entertainment,
so but
entertainment.
they didn't say entertainment. They said rap. They said DJing. I'm talking about the five elements of hip hop, right? If those things are real, if the elements of hip hop are what made up hip hop, and those things are what we are talking about when we think about hip hop, a love and hip hop TV show ain't hip hop.
It's entertainment.
No, it is entertainment. No, I'm not.
Yeah, and
I'm not.
even and hip hop is entertainment.
I'm not knocking that either. I'm knocking the difference between a culture versus a music business.
And I get that, but what I'm saying is like the culture doesn't exist without the business. Like
That's
that
not
that's
true.
that's what my differences are with it. What
I
you
don't,
saying?
I
The
don't
culture
agree.
don't exist without the business because we've seen since the first rap records, they wanted to get paid from it.
Yeah,
you
this is
know.
America. Yeah.
So there's a level of entertainment that comes with that, and then that has like you said, that has been guided and shaped to where we see it at today. But it's still all of those elements, the style, the beats, the graffiti, the dancing, the rhyme play, all of that doesn't exist without a place to go entertain it, without the park, without the firehouse,
So
without
you
the
saying the
club,
park? You saying the
without the
park is the same as a Leo Cohen?
I mean, I what do he do
I don't
except
know.
for like this what I'm saying. I can't say a person's name and say that they are this or that. That would be a personal opinion.
Or like a Def Jam or something like that. You saying the
Okay.
park and Def Jam is like the same thing?
I'm saying yeah, they the same thing. People pay to come to the park. Even if they put a show on in the park, people pay to come to it. If Def Jam throw a show, people pay to come to it. So the entertainment aspect of it and the money aspect of it go together. To your other point, African American culture is slave culture, regardless. So it don't matter who is saying this or who's saying what the blame is placed. What wasn't said was that there's an accountability. So like Caesar was saying with the love and hip hop, and like you were saying with the culture vulturism, people don't have to participate.
No, that's what I'm saying, right? Like that's my whole point. The accountability comes in by saying love and hip hop is not hip hop, so therefore I'm not gonna participate. I don't watch crap like that. I don't entertain things like that personally, nor do I have conversations with people that entertain stuff like that because I'm saying that though that has nothing to do with the five elements of hip hop that I love, right? And that's some extra add-on stuff, and it looks like crap, and it promotes violence, and it promotes negativity, and it's not something that I'm gonna be a part of. So I can only be
Right.
accountable and say that that's not hip hop just because it got hip hop in the name.
Right, but so you say like the five elements, right? There is a sixth element, and that sixth element is industry. Hip hop fused so many industries. And once you start tying big money into things, I mean, just like political shit, once you start putting big money into it, it get distorted, manipulated, and things come out that the people that's putting the money up want to come out instead of the actual artists and the culture. And that's what hip hop is right now. Pretty much, you getting whatever the big wigs are saying put out, and that's how it goes. So if it's gonna be violence, violence sell, sex sell. We can go all the way back to the graffiti. Graffiti sells, because they put it on the clothes and everything. And then people want them big checks. They're gonna say what they got to say to get them checks. It's almost like it's almost a people use the sense sell your soul or the Illuminati. It might not be that deep, but it goes
Pretty much
into
that.
yeah, you were bought and paid for. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And that's one of the bad elements of it. And I think, I hate that the show has turned over into love and hip hop, but I think that whole element with love and hip hop, that was just a something to put a scab on black people while we actually eat it up and watch it, and they sell big advertisement to look at people act ignorant, and then people look at the show and think that's what real life is really about. People don't act like that in real life if they don't have to, you know?
And that's the
So
worst part, right?
But it's
People
too
people
late.
watch people watch that and then they emulate those actions from that show, trying
Yeah.
to be hip hop because I'm like, man, like just because the word is in there don't mean that's it.
Yeah,
right,
it's
it's
too
a bunch of
late.
foolishness. Yeah.
It's too late though. Because that's what we're seeing. People have relationships that are toxic like that, where they believe yelling and throwing shit and
Is the
talking to
way.
each other
Nah.
disrespectfully and all that,
Mm-mm.
to go and make love. Like, like, you know, and that was one of them things where I was talking about like we have a generation who got, who got that stuff from hip hop.
Right.
who got that stuff from the culture, and now they think that that's normal. Now that becomes norm. Now that is the norm. And
It used to be a voice, man. Hip hop used to be a voice. Now it sounds like it's a lot of noise. You know, I mean, from where we raised, where we came up, I believe hip hop was better. It told more stories. I think it gave more motivation. Then you had the era when once NWA and all them came out, shit got real gangster real fast. Then
yeah,
New York wanted to take it back, and then things moved down to Atlanta. So it was a move around, but I still think that it's told great stories. Scarface, he talked violence and stuff like that, but he had stories to tell. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that we done got past the mumble rap phase. That shit is over with. You know what I'm saying? But like we said in the beginning, it's still all the culture that's always evolving. I don't know where it's gonna go to next. I just think it's a whole lot of bullshit out here right now. Am I allowed to cuss?
yeah.
Oh,
You can
okay.
say what you want. We
All right.
we ain't monetized.
Okay. Okay.
we
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
free. We got free reign. Just
Okay.
you know, respect everybody. That's all.
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
Yeah,
Word.
but it is some bullshit though. It is literally. It is some bullshit. Um, but the question is things you like, love, and hate. Cold seas.
All right. The things I like about hip hop is that whenever you go anywhere, it don't matter where it is. Pretty much, it can be in a place where it's some pretty racist people around. Maybe even a wedding. You're gonna hear Nelly playing at any wedding across the country. You know what I'm saying? Let me in now. Let me in now. You know, you people celebrate in hip hop. People gravitate to hip hop. I like that as far as how it does bring people together. How it make people, you know, I like that part. Um, the part that I love, because it's like love and hate, right? Uh, that I love is just that it was always in me. We used to be in the studio heavy, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very connected to the hip hop, um, making music and stuff like that. So I mean, I just genuinely have a love for it that it's hard to even explain, because it's just been a part of my life for so long. Then what I hate about it is exactly what we were just talking about. I'm not liking, especially as I get older, I'm not liking the negative influence that it has on people. One rap song is not gonna hurt you, but listening to it from the crib to your teen years, it could have a very negative influence on you, especially if you're living around the negativity. And it can also have a negative influence on your impact on you if you live out in the suburbs and you wish that you could live that life that you're hearing in raps, and then you go out here, you what you say, f around and find out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that happens a lot. So that's one of the things that I really do hate, because it's a very very big microphone, and I wish that I wish there was a way to somehow turn it into a more of a positive microphone. But once you do that, people ain't gonna listen to it. They'll say you might as well go do gospel rap. You know what I'm saying? Which is still hip hop, but the violent part of hip hop, it definitely outweighs the positivity in it, in my eyes. Back in the day, you used to have Queen Latifah, UNITY stands for unity. You see what I'm saying? You don't hear those type of songs no more.
Yeah,
So
you don't. We don't hear those type of songs.
right.
Um, why do you think we don't hear those songs anymore? Those type of I know that you just made a comment where you said that the negatives, everything is so negative, everything is so the drugs, the violence, the sex. Why you think we don't, and you said, and specifically what you said is, if you make a positive song, somebody gonna tell you go somewhere with that
Yeah.
versus so why do you think that is? Why? Because we did have a choice, as a youth, we did have a choice. We had choices in the music.
I think it's just that the personality of the person or the people that's doing it, and I don't think it just it doesn't pick up steam like that. It doesn't pick up steam like that. I mean,
It
even
don't sell.
it
Is you
don't,
saying
yeah,
it don't
it really don't
sell?
sell if you're not all the way already on. That's like I think Kanye said something about with Jesus Walk. If he didn't, if he wanted to do just music like that, it ain't gonna go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much told him to get to walking with that until it blew up and they figured out they can make money off of it. But at the end of the day, it's like don't nobody want to hear that.
His
People don't.
but then did
I
his
got, I got, a, I got a question. I'm sorry, guy.
go ahead, go ahead.
Is it nobody want to hear that, and it's not going to sell, or is it really that it's not going to be marketed correctly? Because to me, it seems like the things that people want to hear and the things that sell are the things that get mass spins that they throw in your face over and over and over and over and over again, that get heavy marketing. It seems like those things are what people love and what people like and what people buy, not what's good or what's bad.
Right, right, but you have to be able to sell something on the back end. So it's not just like it's if that record is gonna sell. Like I said, hip hop music in itself is an industry. It's so many industries tied to that. So if you're glorifying violence, I mean, I know it sounds crazy. It's gun sales, it's casket sales, it sells some shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be something connected to it. And the big people that I feel like got the wallet, they really not they don't give a damn about the positivity as long as it's driving their market. They don't care about that. And as where I'm at now in life, I mean, I would rather hear the positive music, honestly, but I mean, I'm almost 50 years old. So it's a person that's 15, 16. They probably not wanting to hear the same stuff that I listen to. I remember when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and it was people of my age now, and I would listen to them. I'd be like, man, them old people, they be tripping. You know what I'm saying? So just like this conversation that we having now, some younger people will look at it, they'll be like, oh nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Whatever words they use now, they use a lot of shit I don't even try to keep up with. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
and that's the way it would go. So I mean, it is what it is when it comes to that. But I just wish that hip hop had a more positive light on it at this point. And I think now with not getting with not having to get signed and put on a label to be heard, you can just do a song in your garage today and it hit 1 million people tomorrow. That really changed the landscape of hip hop and what can come out and what people say and how they say it and how fast it hit the people. So
To
yeah.
that point right there, that's part of my question, right? Because the from what I'm seeing, the people that put out their own music and then go live, a lot of
mhm.
those people buy those viewers and buy those streams, and that's what I'm saying. Like the marketing is what gives them um the views or the million streams, and I'm wondering if that's all this is all about, right? Just literally just marketing. Because if the people that had the money were to market quote unquote backpack rappers or positive rap, I think that it would go,
I
right.
do too.
I think it would go. Like
I do too.
I don't think that people dislike. I, I think if gospel rap was marketed, it would go, because it's hard. Like, because people that love hip hop, like you love what you love. Like you hear a cadence, you hear a flow, like you hear some wordplay. Like you don't. I mean, you care about the subject and all that stuff, but like you listening for creativity, you listening for artistry, like you listening for what you love to hear. And if you hearing it, then it's all love. And I think that marketing is the
Yeah, yeah, you're right because it's definitely a lot of whack rappers out here
whack.
with a big bag behind them pushing that machine, and they going. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing
It's
because they
going.
because they got the money machine behind you. So you are definitely right about that. I mean, any kind of music, any genre, any positive rap, it can be pushed. But who's gonna push it? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, I do think that the marketing aspect is one dynamic, but then there's also people listen for things that they can relate to. So one of the things that where I still check for new music, okay, is when I can relate to it, like being that I'm a person who has had a past and had a transition, has had to do a 180 in my life from being a certain type of person to becoming who I am now as a grown man. Okay. I resonate with some of that music from past, from my youth. So when I hear some things that sound grown up from some of those artists, that's like, okay, yeah, I can dig that, you know, and it's a good jam, you know, I'm funky with it. But at the same time, when you look at their whole body of work, yes, we older. Yes, I'm older, but I'm not living like the way a lot of these young people are living. So because they live in that way, that's what they identifying with. That's the thing where like I see a little bit of a hesitancy with the positive music being pushed, or Christian music, or or religious music being pushed, or conscious music for that matter even being pushed, just because it's so many people who are, for lack of better words, dumbed down. They When you hear something like a new song, you have to be able to receive it. There has to be some type of resonance. There has to be something that you agree with in it when you hear it. It's not always just the beat, because sometimes when you get to a certain level, you're not looking for just the beat. You're looking for the words. You're looking for what's being said. So if the words don't move you, then it don't matter how good the beat is. It was this song.
It don't.
It wasn't a hip hop song. It was a R&B song that everybody was jamming a few months ago. Like, it was real brief, and the song was like, "Take your time, don't rush. I'm a dog. I'm a mutt."
Take your time,
Oh
no
yeah,
rush.
that was a real
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
I thought that was just one of those meme songs that they put on the backgrounds and stuff.
But that's
Okay.
all it deserved to be,
Oh,
you know.
Well,
But
damn.
I
but
know.
you
I
know,
know.
and yeah. So like during our wedding, they was playing a bunch of songs. I was like, we not playing that song, you know, because I'm not no dog. I'm a man. I'm above animal life. Like, take it up with your maker. That's how I was created. We have dominion over animals. Animals don't have dominion over us. Okay, but you have to be to a level of consciousness to understand that, because we live in a world where people will put animal life over human life, right?
Yeah,
Mm,
Okay,
crazy,
so
ain't it?
yeah,
So when I hear a song like that, I don't resonate with that. I'm married. I have a wonderful relationship. I'm committed. So I ain't no dog. I'm not out here with that pink thing hanging out trying to screw everything. And I damn sure ain't no mutt. I know who my mama is. I know who my daddy is. You know? So I segue that into the things I like, love, and hate about hip hop. And that's the thing that I hate about it, is that we'll take these things, like the hate, like we've made niggas and bitches be so cool, so
Yeah.
casual. Hip hop has made that be so cool to where, you know, we find it as a term of endearment to be calling each other niggas. And going back to what the guy was saying earlier, like, that was a word that was put on us to defamate us. Okay. Then we have the bitch being elevated in hip hop to where, you call somebody a bitch, they tell you kind. But then, and they normalize that behavior. So I have a problem with this when this culture, when hip hop culture is making these things, is making us be this fucking delusional. Okay? Making people feel as though it's okay to be disrespected. It's okay to casually disrespect yourself and not have more respect for yourself because, oh, you could be a bad bitch, or you a real nigga, or you a street nigga, or you a this nigga, or you a boss bitch, or you a this bitch, or like that shit good. You said some things they be saying now, cuz seasons, they that shit goofy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit lame as fuck.
Yeah.
Because we need to be holding each other in higher regard. You know, like why are we not defining each other by, since everybody on material shit, you know, well, you're a professional this. Why is oh that's my nigga? Why I can't say oh that's my brother with that much enthusiasm? Oh that's the God with that much enthusiasm.
I think you do. Once you get to a certain point, you kind of get up off that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
But what
not
point
not
is it?
everybody, not everybody, but
Right, of clearly not
yeah,
everybody,
not
and
everybody.
clearly way less amount of people than the amount of people who agree with the fuck shit. Okay, who think the fuck shit is normal with the love and hip hop grow uppers, you know, with those people who think that toxic communication, is okay, that it shouldn't be no consequence for it, you know. So
Right.
that's one of the things I hate about the hip hop. But loving and liking, I mean, still the fact that you can be able to get, good music, even though you have to find it. You
Right.
have to look through it, um, because I could never turn my back on hip hop, because that was like, besides jazz, playing an instrument, because my mama encouraged that, and I did. I played the violin, played the drums, played the trombone and the bassoon. So like trying them out. Uh, I'm always gonna love those things because it inspired me, and then the break beats, and then with Cold Seasons, like he was saying, you know, my number one inspiration for even becoming a producer, or even thinking that I had the ability to write a rap, him and his brother, you know, so
Thank you for that.
hip hip hop is always gonna be, something that I cherish and I value, um, with the likes, because it always feels like that there's room for something new. It does always feel like that there's room for something new. When we look at the J. Cole's, we look at the Kendricks, we look at the what's the other brother, the Vince Staples, and any of those guys, that really do hip hop. Even Drake, I even like Drake, man, because he do hip hop music. Um, he makes dance music, he make party music, and it ain't always just about the bitches shaking their ass or the hoes doing this, you know,
Or
or
shooting
the
up some shit.
or shooting up some shit,
Yeah.
somebody having to be killed or murdered. So
We
like,
could just have a good time.
you like we could, like, what's wrong with just having a good time, you know? So that's the like love hate, summing it up just a little bit. But we're gonna go ahead and move to our third question, y'all. Is hip hop the most powerful form of music today? Why or why not?
Yes. Yes, it is. And why? Uh, because it's to me is a universal language. and everybody speaks that language pretty much in every different language. You know, they got rap, hip hop, and they have moved to all cultures across the world. Um, I think it is that because it's one of the most marketable things out there, and it makes so much money across the board with every different race background. You know, you listen to Christmas commercials, all the beats are hip hop beats. Dun, 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 dun. Even though it's old, but they've made it more hip hop. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think it is, and it's going to continue to be. You know, it's other things have a lot of catching up to do before they can catch up with the pace that hip hop has grown in 50 years. You know.
What you got, God?
Nah, definitely. I agree. And say yes, but also for the fact that it's ours, so that means that we are the most important people, right? Because it's our influence that's like literally hip hop is around the whole world in other languages that don't even try to copy English at all. They 100% try to copy cadences, swag, mannerisms, and dress look. They do the graffiti in the same style to try to emulate the original where it comes from. All around the world, people have gravitated to this form of expression, right? Because they have seen how freeing it is, right? Because what we do, we literally freed ourselves. Like these cats can say Lincoln did what he did, but like you and I, we all know that that was our ancestors that's been fighting since day one, right? So that's why I like. I definitely think it is the most important because it just proves that we are the most important, and it shows how far um, our reach is. We just gotta see that and accept that, and take accountability and responsibility for that influence and reach, and not just collect the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be tough though. Accountability and not just collect the bag.
Hmm.
Almost impossible, right?
You know? I mean, in a toxic, loving culture, you know? It's manifested into a toxic, loving culture. So, so I find it very, very difficult that we that we're gonna be able to make them type of steps. I don't know. But the influence is definitely there. Um, the influence is definitely there. The most influential. I definitely think that it's the most influential based on both things that y'all were saying. Um, when you go across the world, being a person who has traveled across the world and um, and pulled up in places, and by my style and my dress on Liberty, you know, being received as, in several different countries, like, what's up, my nigga? And they got that from hip hop, you know? So,
And they mean it the same way that they think that you mean it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was never offended, understanding that, like, okay, you're trying to connect with me. You see my style and my fashion, and uh, you're not trying to defamate me. So I understand that African Americans have done that here, even though we still try to use it to badger each other, you know doing convenience, right? Bitch ass niggas, broke ass niggas, bum ass niggas, all that type of shit. So I understand that, but definitely that's one of my reasons why, just from traveling around the world and going to different clubs and being out in different venues and stuff, that always playing hip hop music. Like it's guaranteed. I don't care where you go, you can find a hip hop club, you know, no matter where you go. Africa, you know,
The, the
Australia,
the whole Mediterranean.
the whole Central South America, the Caribbean, Russia, Germany, Europe, it's everywhere. Canada,
It's everywhere.
you know. So I definitely think that it is the most influential, and that's crazy that it's the most influential. And we look at the current state now, and we see how it's just so much negativity. That's very interesting, because if there was a positive push, just to and even if we remove the word positive, because nowadays people get triggered by the word positive or better or improvement or or you know educating yourself or advancing yourself, like people. I don't want to be advanced. I don't need to be elevated. I don't need to be positive. I don't need to be like, damn. So you just gonna be a piece of shit your whole life? You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, but because we get a chance every day to be a better version. Do something today to possibly improve your tomorrow. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I guess you gotta have a brain to do that, or at least half a brain. You can't get a penny for your thoughts no more, because pennies don't exist. They stop
Facts.
printing. They stop printing those. So definitely, hip hop is the most influential music across the globe. So before we get into question number 4, once again, y'all, we want to thank everybody for pulling up, chopping it up with us tonight. Make sure to like and share the video. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live, each and every Sunday right here at 8 p.m. East Coast time, with myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God Ali Dawoodell at BK Soul Farm. Also, right now, we got 25% off all merch going on at the DB Chef TV gift shop. The link is in the description. And also, go check out 1016 160 Self-Sustainability at www.bksoulfarm.com. Perfect stocking stuffer. Go get that link in the description. We are going to jump into tonight's Flavor Bombs.
The Flavor Bombs, presented to you by DB Chef TV.
So, everybody, if you've been hiding under a rock somewhere, cannabis, marijuana has been downgraded to a Schedule 3. So that is some good news for a lot of people out there that's been looking forward to this legislation coming down the pipe. We're gonna check out some information, some very useful and helpful information about that, just so so people don't go too crazy, because a lot of people thinking like, oh, it's legal, everything legal, we can go crazy now, I can smoke joints in the street. Nah, you gotta relax. But we're gonna check out that video to give us a little bit more insight about that. And then we have our second flavor bomb of the evening. We have unwrapping the Epstein files. The Epstein files just released not too long ago. They've been dropping photos and stuff, and it's getting spicy, y'all. We already know that it's no list. Remember, they told us it's no list. but they got files. So we're gonna check out some of them files and see what the guys have to say about it right here.
One of the most significant changes to U.S. drug policy since the 70s, President Trump is easing federal restrictions on marijuana. It opens the door for more research opportunities. But what does it mean for the public? Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Laskos with more on what it means. Ed?
And Laura, for all of us, this executive order does not clear the way, does not legalize the recreational use of marijuana on a federal level, but it does on the medical level, the federal level, the use of marijuana. I know it's a bit confusing, but here in California, we're already ahead of the game. We'll break it down for you. Frankie, take us into the story, will you? This is Kanya, one of the 3 cannabis stores operated by the company, this one on Beverly Boulevard here. And to give you an idea, they have 3 through the Southland. They're opening 2 more next year, so their business is going very well, and it's been a very busy night here over the last couple of hours. Let's get to it, though. To the video we go, and the backstory here is, I'm sure you know, we, California, are one of 40 states across the country that legalized the medical use of marijuana and recreational use back in 2019. And so we're already ahead of the curve. But what it does mean, from the insiders who know all about this, is that it's on the business end that's really affected. Did you know that the cannabis stores here, it's still a cash-only business. They cannot accept credit cards, Apple Pay, anything like that. So it creates a safety issue late at night with all that cash being around. Also, for the businesses, it gives them some legitimacy in terms of how they deal with the banks that are on federal regulations. So no wonder the cannabis industry tonight, they're saying it's really given them a high of their own, this executive order. Listen.
It is an early Christmas present. We're so happy about it. Kanye couldn't be more excited for all of the legalization moving forward, and just being able to be legitimate in this industry. It's hard to deal with payroll and do all of the banking needs to pay employees and to function as a normal business. So with it being brought down in the classification, is giving us the option to actually operate as a legit business, which we've always wanted to do. Everyone here, even at Cedar Cyanide, they'll come by and hey, my doctor recommended trying CBD, trying some of it. I'm not trying to get lit. I'm not trying to daunt myself with the THC, but the CBD component of the cannabis is going to help me, and my doctor recommended it.
And now back here live, she makes a very good point. Cedar Sinai just a few blocks in that direction, and they've been busy tonight with patients coming by saying they were told to come here by their doctor because they're dealing with chronic pain. And so that's the medical aspect of all of this. But the insiders tell me as they're moving forward, they expect that sooner or later the feds will deal with the recreational use of marijuana on a federal level, but that they think may still be a few years off. So Laura, it's a big step, especially for the cannabis industry and the business being legitimized even more.
Well, Ed, do you think at this point it's more of a symbolic step, or do you think it really does have teeth to it?
When you talk to the folks who are on the know, who are in the business, they think it's more than just symbolic. They think it really has teeth because it opens up the door, tremendous door in terms of the research, the medical research, the advancement. They think that's really where the big future is, and then the recreational use will follow after that.
All right. Ed Laskos, thank you so much for that live report.
What you got? What you got?
Yo, God. So my first question is, so it's not legalized for recreational, but did it say that they made it for medical? It was legal medically for federal use, so for the federal level, medical cannabis is good, just not federally recreational. Is that right? So basically, you can get a medical card legal, and you can have a clearance. You get a medical card and keep your clearance, but you can't do it for fun. Is that what that is that?
Okay, so
is that what that sounded like? That sounded
no,
crazy.
that's not what that sounded like to me.
That was crazy.
No, but to clarify, all right, as a federal employee, like a member of the military, a member of a civilian contractor, whatever, if they have a no puff policy, then that's what it is. it doesn't matter even if you have an issue medically.
Truck
So,
drivers the same way.
you know, so
I
that's
think
still,
all
yeah,
vehicle drivers, yeah.
that still remains. Because I couldn't imagine when I was the last 2 years of my, well, like the last 3 years of my active duty career, you know, I was taking a lot of medication just to stay in the game. I couldn't imagine if they would have been like, if this would have been out and they would have been like, but you can go home and smoke a joint. Like, I would probably fucking still be in. You know what I'm saying? If I could have just, every day I came home and just got off, I could just smoke a joint and just get back up and go back to work.
You got a
You know,
smoke shit, God? You got a smoke shit?
you know, smoking shit, right? Now everybody walking around talking about the goddamn smoking shit, right? So, so no, but what they are saying is though for I believe for veterans, because during the signing, I did see some people from the American Legion and the VFW up there with their berets on, who are supporting this legislation, and hopefully at the VA we will see issuance of medical cards. I think it's still going to be relative to states
Mm,
that allow it, you know, and this may open up the door now for some of those states that haven't come on board with medical to be able to now, you know, look into those legislative things and those initiatives and open up the medical door. But it definitely solidifies the medical. Now, of course, we have states that already have medical and recreation, you know, but I think this will now allow those states for the medical that have been skeptical about introducing it because their state laws already are like, you know, zero tolerance, or
yeah.
they still locking people up for a joint, you know, something ridiculous. But also the businesses, the cannabis business has been a cash business for a while. And one of the points that they made, which they highlighted, was that a lot of times at the end of the day, they're cash. So they have a lot of deposits. What this does now is it allows for them to get banked. So now they can do
My
their
next question.
electronics. Yeah. So like when I went to Vegas, last time I went to Vegas, I was retired, so I smoked. And when I went into the dispensary, I could not use
Your card.
my card. Well, I could use my debit card, but I couldn't use the credit card.
Yeah, we had to use the ATM in the dispensary when we was in Vegas to get cash out.
Yeah. So that's what I ended up doing anyway, just using the ATM to get the cash. But maybe now with this being implemented, maybe we will see that also be a thing that's available to those businesses, where now they can actually take Visa, MasterCard, American Express, you know.
Yeah, I seen another report that said it also is paving the way for medical research at universities so that the universities can actually grow the plants and do the research in all states that they need to do. So, you know, that was one of the things that they was highlighting on.
That'll be cool too. That'll be cool. I might have to go back to school. get
Well,
my
I
get
mean,
my
you know,
Rodney Dangerfield on, go back to school and take up
but
horticulture.
but you know, it's a big industry even outside of the smoking it. I mean, even your waste product is worth money. So I mean, you know, people,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, hemp ropes, you know, all that other stuff, rubs and
The
all kind of
fibers
stuff.
and tinctures. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it is a lot of I'm glad you said that. It is a lot of different cannabinoid properties like CBG, CBN, CBD, CB this, CB that. It's a whole
Hmm.
lot of these different things, but they are good for medical, for the progression of the medical stuff. But I do dislike the fact that it's kind of being synthesized, you know, other than just because all of these things are being taken away from it, from the plant in its natural state once it's grown. So yes, it does open up a lot of research, but then also, we live in a world where, like, people buying drugs in the street. Most of the time, the drugs in the street got some type of fentanyl in them. So a lot of people need to be very careful of that also before we move on to this next topic, y'all, because I'm very close with someone who works in the insurance business. And they say to me that sometimes when people fill out their insurance, they get questioned, do you smoke or not? And they might put on there, yeah, they smoke a little marijuana. But then when they do their blood test or their urine test, it'll come back with fentanyl in their bloodstream, or their urine. So
terrible.
So this is one of these things that people have to be aware of. If you out here and you buying, weed in the street, you have to understand that we live in a time nowadays where people trying to make a buck. So if they can get you hooked on some, if they can, because they want to have that pack, that's the lingo, then, be careful you don't get packed out and that be the last puff that you ever take. So get you a medical card, or
grow your own.
Grow your own if you're in a state that allows that, or just be sober. Just be sober.
Be sober.
A massive new release of Jeffrey Epstein records is now public, and it includes hundreds of thousands of pages of documents and photos that offer a deeper look into the late financier's world. Friday marked the end of the 30-day deadline for the Justice Department to comply with a bipartisan law signed by President Trump requiring the release of all unclassified Epstein records, along with as much classified material as legally possible. Since the law took effect, federal judges have also approved the unsealing of grand jury transcripts tied to Epstein and his longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently serving a 20-year federal prison sentence. As the files began rolling out, access to the Justice Department's website was briefly disrupted, with users encountering error messages and queue rejections as interest surged. Among the most striking material in the release are photographs. Several images show Epstein enjoying backstage access at Rolling Stones concerts. Other photos capture him vacationing alongside powerful and famous figures, including former President Bill Clinton, Ghislaine Maxwell, and unidentified women whose faces are redacted. Clinton appears in multiple photos alongside actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker. Some of the images show the group relaxing together, while one depicts a man receiving a massage from an unidentified woman. Another photo shows Clinton touring Winston Churchill's World War II war room in London, taken during the same period Epstein was traveling with influential associates. One image drawing renewed attention shows Epstein holding a framed check signed by Donald Trump for $22,500, dated 1997 and believed to have been taken at Mar-a-Lago. The woman pictured next to Epstein is redacted. A related image of the same check had been released previously, though attorneys connected to the woman involved have disputed claims tied to earlier descriptions of the photo. The files also include a number of personal and unusual images from Epstein's residences and travels. Photos show Epstein inspecting a cake shaped like a woman's breast, embracing friends during tropical vacations, and images from gatherings that include performers such as a drag queen dancing in red underwear and striped stockings. Inside Epstein's Manhattan townhouse, images reveal unusual decor, including multiple copies of the book Fire and Fury, a caricature of Epstein and Bill Clinton displayed above a toilet, a gorilla mask mounted in a bathroom, and a hanging figure above a staircase. Another undated photo shows Epstein dining with Clinton and Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger. In one image, Clinton and Jagger appear seated beside a woman whose face is blacked out. The release also includes a photo of Epstein with Michael Jackson. along with other images showing Jackson with Clinton and Diana Ross. Not all material is visible. One file in the release consists of 100 pages that are completely blacked out, reflecting extensive redactions that remain throughout the datasets. Additional images show Epstein on his private island, including photos of him wearing a military-style cap resembling one associated with Cuban leader Fidel Castro. The Justice Department has indicated that more Epstein-related material could be released in the coming days as the review process continues. For now, the latest disclosure offers a broad visual record of Epstein's associations, travels, and personal spaces, adding new detail to a case that continues to draw intense public scrutiny years after his death.
Okay, so what y'all got on Epstein?
Bunch of bullshit. They released like 1% of the files, and that's to me, it was all supposed to come out. I know they do got to redact certain things and everything. You know, from what I see, from what I've seen so far, everything that they released was pretty much strategic. If you go onto the file site and you type in Donald Trump name in the search, nothing pops up. But they released everything with everybody else. You know, honestly, I don't really care, you know, who's in the files. Let it come out. You know, I don't care if it's right, if it's left. You know, everybody that was on that freak shit needs to be, you know, pretty much exposed. You know, and the cover up is crazy. Pam Bondi, she's just doing her bidding for the president. Cash Patel, same thing. You know, so I mean, it's still a shit show. You know.
Yeah, nah, for me, like, I agree, it's a shit show. Like, and that's it. Like, I don't know if they showed us anything just now, right?
Nothing that
Like,
we already seen most of that stuff already.
like even if
Everything that they showing us, we seen.
like a lot of that stuff was my first time seeing it, and I'm saying like I don't know what they showed me. Like so what? Michael Jackson took a picture with this dude. So what? Chris Tucker took a picture with this dude. Like that didn't like even the Bill Clinton thing. Like that image didn't show me anything to make me say that these people got a rotten hell too. Like I don't know what that was other than oh look who was there. Oh look who was there. And if they was there, they must be a part of it. And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, they you know, like one thing is a lot of manipulation. Like, okay, for instance, like the Clinton thing where they say Clinton been on his plane 26 times. That was true. But it was 26 times one trip that lasted a week and a half. You know, and they kept landing in different countries, going, getting off, landing different countries. It was all one trip.
See, shit like that is what I'm saying, right? Like they make it seem like it was like a whole bunch of things, and it's like I don't know, man.
Now the flight logs got dates and times every country, and the thing about it was it's counted, so it was landing and taking off. So getting off the plane and getting back on the plane, so it really got counted twice. You get what I'm saying? So I mean,
Yeah.
they debunked all that. There's a whole lot of shit in there. It needs to come out. I doubt it ever will. They just found them deleting files. So they you know, it'd be like page 127, 128, and then jump up to 131. You know what I'm saying? So they finding out that they deleting files as well. So,
And
you
that's
know, it's
crazy. Like the fact that they deleting files is crazy because they are releasing redacted files.
right, right.
So
And then
you
and
just black out the
yeah,
whole
and
thing.
that's just the shit they really don't want you to see. And then they hired a thousand FBI agents and different agents to go through and do the redaction process. You know what I'm saying? Which I think should have happened was it should have been, you know, certain members of Congress that was able to go in and see the files totally unredacted. Even if it's not released to the public, a certain group from both sides should have been able to go in and view well, it's almost impossible. I mean, it's 300 gigs of, you know, that's enough to fill up a high rise building with letters, you know, with shit on paper. But yeah, I think definitely it should have been a more the lawmakers should have had a chance to go look at that because you can't trust this FBI. So
Hell no. Hell no.
So I saw that Epstein had his Fidel Castro.
Hey, I see you got that.
You know what I'm saying? I got my USSR. You know, so I ain't I been there. You know, so
Yeah.
I actually I actually earned this, and it's 100% legit. But they ain't talking about his custom polo. See, you gotta be a polo. You gotta be a low life to, he had the polo sweater on too with his initials and his Cuban hat. But yeah, I think it's wild. I think it's wild. Everybody's looking at Bill Clinton, and that's where the attention is being drawn to. But they had some other names in there, and it didn't look too spicy. That's the thing. Like I didn't see anything that looked really incriminating about anybody else other than just being guilty by association of knowing the man. And clearly, they keep calling him a convicted sex offender, and he never went to court. He never got convicted. He got, he was unalived or suicided, before he could even be convicted. Now Jelaine
Who?
Mack,
Who that?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein.
Yeah, like, like they word him as this convicted, sex offender, but he's not. In public opinion, but through a court, legitimately, he has not been.
Right. So,
If we
and
talking about facts.
That's how Ghislaine got the 20 something years,
And
because she was the one alive left.
yeah, and she was the one who was alive. So I don't know. Maybe they think I got a private island or something somewhere off the coast of Alaska, But definitely, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna keep following it. We're gonna keep on paying attention to what they got going on with this whole Epstein thing. But yeah, that's it right there for the flavor bombs.
You've just been flavor bombed, and now back to our show.
Yeah,
I like that.
So tonight, y'all, we are smoking on the word hip hop, and we are going to get into our fourth question of the evening. Who are your top 5 hip hop artists, dead or alive, and why? And make sure to smash that like button, y'all. It's the freest thing you can do, and we appreciate it when you do it. Who are your top 5 hip hop artists, dead or alive? Let us know in the comment section. The guy Ali Dabudel, the BK Soul Farm. Top 5, dead or alive, and why?
I got the mighty, not in order, but I got the mighty Mos Def, Yasin Bey. I got Curtis Blow. I got Raz Cass, LL Cool J. Who else I got? Curtis Blow. I said Curtis Blow. Grandmaster Flash. Who was that? Raz Cass, Mos Def, LL Cool J, Grandmaster Flash, and the Beastie Boys.
The Beastie Boys.
Right. Why? Because those sounds helped shape my childhood. They was in my background. They was in my forefront. Those sounds blended in with all the other sounds that were playing on my father's record player, and the people's 8-track, driving down the street. Right. Like, so those things was foundational to me. Those particular sounds, like not necessarily the Raz Cast and the Mighty Most, but they sound like they can be from any era, any generation, and like their skill set is just fire. All right. But that's what I got though. This is a simple list. Like I guess the top 5 list is like super debatable. I just like what I like.
That's why it's yours.
Yeah.
No doubt. Cold C's, top 5, dead or alive, and why?
Yeah, and like I said, it's just gonna be mine. You know, like he said, it's very very debatable. It's a question that you know how I go. Um, of course, I'm gonna start with Jay. You know, I just felt like, um, all his music. I followed it from the beginning till up to now, and we got little personal connections and shit a little bit.
Jay who?
Um,
J. Cole?
Nah, Jay Z nigga, you
Jam
already know.
Master Jay?
uh, Jay Fly Fish or whatever his name was, but
You
now,
know?
yeah, Jay Z. Um, so I mean, I just think he has a great catalog that I vibed out to for 20 years. Um,
Already.
I gotta give Nas his shit. You know what I'm saying? He's another one that been around since Illmatic. I mean, just that album alone was just, part of my coming up. Um, I'm not gonna say Biggie because he only had two albums. You know what I'm saying? He was
Man,
he was
don't tell us who you not gonna say. Tell us who you gonna say. Tell us who
okay,
you gonna say,
okay,
dog.
okay, okay, okay. And then I got
You got Jigga, you got Esco.
yeah, I gotta go with Face, Scarface. You know what I'm saying? I just one of my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One
Shout
of my
out to
favorite
Brad.
artists. Yeah, and number four, I got another one that's probably just off the, like what the fuck, Coogee Rap. You know what I'm
Coogee Rap.
saying? Yeah, Coogee Rap. To me, he was one of the great lyricists. And number five, who I got for number five? It's hard. It's hard. It's a hard one. I don't know. I just I'll go with Eminem. I
With
give him.
M.
Yeah, yeah,
With M. So
yeah,
we got Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, G-Rap, and M.
yeah.
And Marshall.
Marshall. And I'm gonna tell you like this. Me saying Marshall. He's definitely not one of my favorite rappers, but I know how lyrically dope he is. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm never sitting around like, let me pop that Eminem in. You know what I'm saying? But
Why
it's
not? That how you gonna be
be,
that? And you even
because it's dope. I can't listen to him and say, oh, that nigga whack. He ain't whack by far.
come
You know what I'm saying?
on.
So, I gave him his. So.
I'm talking about what's in the playlist. Okay. Top 5 dead or alive. I'm probably gonna go in order. So I'm gonna have to take one of your guys. I'm gonna put Brad Jordan up there, aka Scarface. Got to have Scarface. That's my favorite rapper of all time. Then Ice Cube. Ice Cube is right there. Number 2. Then I got Tupac on that list. Cause I mean, that's my guy. Man, third, fourth, who I got? I'm gonna say Rakim. I'm gonna say the God MC. And fifth, I might have to go with 50 Cent. I might have to go with 50 Cent on the fifth.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In that order.
All right.
In
Fifth.
that.
Got the
In that.
fifth.
Yeah, fifth got the fifth. I think 50 Cent. Just because everything 50 do, man, is just, he been on the wave since Get Rich or Die Trying. So, rap wise, I can always put it in, his workout music, and that's I'll go back up with the wise, 50 Cent, because like everything you can work out to his music. He got party joints, it's just a whole plethora. It's versatile. Rakim, because I mean that's just the God MC. You're gonna get some consciousness, you're gonna get lyrics, you're gonna get bars, you're gonna get, you know, the Eric B mixing on it. You know, it's just everything gonna be dope. Dag, I wish I could have got one more, but I can't. It's only 5.
Yeah, you only said 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, do a bonus. Throw a bonus in there.
A
Let's see what we
bonus
got.
in
Yeah,
there, a bonus one. Okay, but
yeah.
let me get the whys out. Pac, of course, because Pac's story was a lot like my own story. Just having him and his little sister and raised by a single mother. So I really resonated with his story and moving around a lot in your youth. And then me going through like different things like rites of passage programs, manhood training, and you know, all of these different being around the Panthers and the different groups and things like that growing up that my mother had us around. So I really resonate with Pac life. And then also in my teenage years, like a lot, just moving around, going from this state to that state, moving from these places, that places, get soaking up game from everywhere. Ice Cube, because I mean, once again, Ice Cube just movies, music, and you know, his pen game been crazy. He really talking about stuff going on in the communities, you know, and it's just always been good music. You know, it's not really. I've never heard a bad Ice Cube album. You know, full body of work. And then Scarface the same way. Like, just one thing I could remember is whether I was up north or down south or Midwest coming up, growing up, you know, I always could find somebody who was listening to Face. You know, so that was something that was always like, wow, like no matter where you go, you know, certain places folks ain't like Biggie, folks ain't like Pop. You know, people might have been on Ice Cube or whatever, but they wasn't really into Cube. But every place I went, everybody was listening to Face. You know, at least the type of folks I hang around. So, you know, but if I had my bonus and everybody get their bonus, it'll be rest in peace to Guru. Yeah, Guru will be my 5th. You know, because what him and DJ Premier did with jazz, with all their records, you know, all the full clips, the jazzmatazes, volumes, and you know, the amount of lyricism that went into those albums and the production, you know, I think we haven't seen anything like that again. We haven't seen nobody be able to pull that off. You know, as lyrical as some of the guys that we see now, we don't see anybody just like, it's a lot of sample records. Like shout out to some of the young producers that produce for like Band Play. And I don't know Big Extra Plug's producer, but he does a lot of samples. And the guy that worked with Paper Route, he do a lot of samples, Band Play. And I like that. I like that because hip hop has always been like the guy was saying earlier, it came from those break beats. It came from taking funk samples and jazz loops and, you know, and blues and disco records and things like that and turning it into hip hop, rapping over top of it. So we get that nostalgia from that when we hear these things. And that was the big thing with Snoop. I remember growing up and I was listening to Snoop and our uncle, we call him old school Unc. I was listening to Snoop one time, and you know, I'm singing the songs or whatever, and my uncle like, what the hell is that? Like, you know, like that's the Delphonics or something like that, or that's the Gap Band or something, you know. He like that. What the hell is, and I'm like, man, that's Snoop Dogg. You don't know nothing about this old dude, you know, like old head. You don't know nothing about this old school. Like this what we on now, you know. And he like, man, that shit ain't new. You know. Parliament Funkadelic and stuff like that, you know. So I love it when it bridges a gap. You know, when in hip hop used to do that. Now so much, I don't think that the age, you know, sampling something from the Gap Band or, you know, Parliament Funkadelic or any of these older records, I don't think that the parents at this age are that musically inclined to know like where that record came from. You know, so they might hear like the new Key Glock, I'm ready. But if you wasn't somebody who listens to music, you know, then you're not gonna know where it came from. You're just gonna be singing the new song and like, oh, that's Key Glock, like I was, like, oh, this Snoop Dogg. You don't know nothing about this, you old, right? But it's okay for the youth to not know, but the elder's supposed to be able to know, be able to tell you, nah, this where that came from right there. You don't need to know nothing about that. That song was jamming when cocaine was cheap, before they put the fentanyl in cocaine, you know, when it was a real party going on. So who y'all got? Who y'all bonus?
You know, I think y'all set up y'all named everybody, the Scarfaces, the Big Daddy Kanes, and the Ice Cubes, right? So
Big Daddy Kane, yeah.
And the G Rap, like you can't forget about
Cool G Rap, yeah, man.
You can't forget about G Rap, right? Like
you lose, I guess you got the ill street blues.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I would give it. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say Special Ed.
Special Ed, I got it made. Oh man,
I am the magnificent.
With the sensational
style, and I could go on and on
for like a mile a minute.
Cause I could end it like a car and drive.
Yo,
if the record is a smash, I could
still survive.
What? Come on, man. That's crazy.
Man, yo.
Crazy, right? Yeah. I mean, it's so many. It's so much. You know, Chubb Rock. I mean,
oh man, audio too, man. It's so much, bro. Yeah. Like it's
yeah, audio too. The two's the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it chilling? Is it chilling? What more can I say? Top billing.
Biz Marquee.
Biz Marquee.
Oh man. Son.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Biz Marquee. Yeah. I mean, hell, Pete Rock and Seal, Smooth.
Oh yeah.
Mecca and the Soul Brothers.
Yeah.
We just gonna start naming everybody now.
Poor Righteous Teachers. I mean,
De La Soul.
De La Soul. We don't want to not give nobody their flowers, man. Like
Snickers, you know what I'm saying?
Foosh nigga, Dodge Effects. EPMD, like
everybody. Grand Pooba.
Grand Pooba, rest in peace.
Grand Pooba,
yeah. Pooba, yeah.
But yeah, I would give my bonus. I'm gonna bring it back to VA, and I'm gonna give my bonus to Missy.
To Missy,
yeah. I'm giving my bonus to Missy.
Yeah. She's like the dopest female MC ever.
Yeah, she don't miss, bro. She don't miss.
Yeah. You know, we haven't seen another her either. We haven't seen her.
Cause she ain't gangster, you know, she ain't selling herself.
Yeah, she's not a twerker.
Ironically,
she
like
wasn't
for
twerking.
me, like Missy embodies pretty much all of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like she got her own style that she absolutely pushes with super confidence. right? She got like she reps the music. Obviously, she reps the language. Like she constantly pushing, and she, like you said, she not twerking, she not follow, and she might twerk, but it's gonna be a whole dance routine. And
Right.
it's,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
you
gonna be
know,
classy. It's gonna
yeah,
be
you know what I'm
classy.
Right.
saying?
Yeah, it's
Right.
gonna
Yeah,
be classy. It ain't pee popping.
yeah.
You
It
know,
ain't
Nah.
it ain't pee popping, right?
it
Like
ain't pee popping.
Nah.
Yeah, yeah.
try
It's
to get
gonna
a
be
whole
classy.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be classy. It's gonna be something that we can take the whole family to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every
Definitely.
and everybody can enjoy it,
And
right?
Definitely.
everybody can dance.
And she's not just a rapper. She's a performer, man. She
And
gets
she's a
out there and
performer.
Yeah.
perform. Yeah. So
That's the difference. That's the difference.
yeah.
Yeah, who else, man? Who else we got? Anybody else y'all want to mention off?
I
Before be
mean, I mean, we giving out flowers. I mean, we can still say all the ladies: Queen Latifah, MC Light, Salt and Pepper, JJ Fad. You know
Yo
what I'm saying?
Yo,
Yo,
Foxy Brown.
the
Foxy
boss,
Brown.
Foxy,
Yeah, the Brat.
the
Yeah.
Brat,
Yeah.
Miss
So
Melody,
Oh
yeah,
man. Heather B.
Heather B,
Heather B. That's a
Sister
yeah,
Soldier, Mia
Oh
yeah.
X,
man, Mia
Mia
X. Ah,
X.
Mia X. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mia X,
What's the
Mama
girl?
Mia,
What's the girl
Roxanne
from
Shante.
Roxanne Shante,
I'm the real rock man.
Rage?
Rage.
Lady
Oh man, how
Rage,
can we
yeah,
forget
Rage.
about
You
Rage?
forget
Yeah,
about
Rage.
we can't
Rage,
forget
yeah.
about Rage.
Rage. She live right around here too, man. That's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, Rage. Yeah, Rage. Rage definitely one of the dope female MCs. Yeah, it's been ladies
Hmm.
putting it down.
Yeah, even Yo Yo. Come on, man. That's man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
dope.
Salt and Pepper. Did we say them? We gotta say
Yeah,
Salt and
yeah.
Pepper.
We threw them in there. Yeah,
They legendary. You know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Spinderella, she's still out there doing her
Yeah.
thing. She's still DJing. I seen her on Threads the other day promoting a party that she was about to go spin at. So I mean, she's still out there getting it. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah. And if we forgot you, y'all, Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew,
Slick Rick the Ruler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
we got
know,
Rick in
Dana
there.
yeah,
Dane. Oh,
Dana
yeah.
Dane, yeah. We got all them guys in there. We ain't leave nobody off the West Coast. E40, Too Short. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Who else we get?
Nipsey. You gotta put Nipsey in there.
MC8,
8 Ball and MJG.
Ball and G.
Yeah,
Man, who else we got? Who else we got
Got
down from
Goody.
down south? We got
Goody
the Goody
Mob.
Mob, the whole mob.
Yeah.
But we say Outkast, Organized Noise, the whole them,
that whole shit. That
the
whole
whole
shit.
them.
Yeah,
You
they was a movement in itself. I mean, that whole
Yeah.
era. They locked they held it down for a good little minute when they needed to be held down. So
Yeah, can't forget about Trick Daddy Dollars.
Trick Daddy. Yeah.
That
You
whole
know.
that whole loop bass music wave was a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Two Live Crew.
Oh yeah, can't forget the locks, man. Can't forget the
Can't, oh
locks.
yeah, nah.
Yeah,
The Locks.
can't forget the locks.
Yeah.
Be doing a disservice. We forget them.
Yeah, Capone and Noriega. Capone and Noriega.
Capone and Nori. Yeah.
Mob Deep.
Yeah.
The mob. They was always, yeah. So
Nigga, Wu-Tang Clan, nigga, the whole
the clan, the
Yeah,
whole clan,
the
right?
whole clan,
Whole
Wu-Tang, yeah,
The whole
Wu-Tang,
clan.
Wu-Tang, yes sir.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so many, man. Hip hop has given us so many talented musicians, artists, and
And you know, on your list, fifth. You know, just to highlight on what he do, man. I think he great because like you said, you can do anything with his music. You can work out. You know what I'm saying? He pushing the movies and television and all that shit. But one thing that I think is real great about his recent shit over the last 5 years or so, the soundtracks to his shows when they come on, they are not just soundtrack. I mean, they're not just starters to the show. Like you literally will be doing something in the middle of the day and humming that tune in your head. You know what I'm saying? So every season when Power have a new season or Tommy have a new season, and the show come on with that intro, now it might leave my head for a little while, but once it come on, it's like money, power, you know what I'm saying? I always hear that shit in my head all the time. You know what I'm saying? So 50, he I think he was a genius the way he did it, because I believe that every time somebody stream that shit is a play for him. You know what I'm saying? Don't he get a check or something for that when every time it's played?
I don't know the business dealings behind that, because it's so many different things that you hear, but I mean, he is producing it. I'm sure he is, some lending some creative to it. So it's dope.
Yeah.
It's a dope production. But while we talking about 50 Cent right now, there is a topic right now that people in social media world have a problem with him doing the Diddy documentary. Anybody have any comments on that? Want to share
Um,
anything?
I just think that he's not the guy that you want to, have any kind of battle with, because he's very petty. He's the pettiest trolling person on the planet. So I mean, I think it's just a long ongoing feud, and he don't give a, at all. So, I think it's kind of, personally, I would say it might be crossing the line a little bit, but that's him and that's them. You know what I'm saying? So,
But why do you think it's crossing the line? Why is it crossing the line?
um, well, the chair came down. The reason I would say it's crossing the line is just because they they work together. They know each other personally. You know what I'm saying? It was, and 50 wasn't just a producer that just went and did this, that didn't know him. Like, he knew that man personally. Like, they were, they had business deals together sometime. He employs Diddy's kids and shit, which that's a troll too. You know what I'm saying? That's a, hi, look at what I'm doing. I'm holding your kids down. So I think, it's to me, it's just a little bit of crossing the line to know somebody that personally and put that out about them. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they in jail, they can't even defend themselves right now. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's not gonna be able to bounce back from all that shit that 50 doing. So, which he did it to himself, but it is what it is.
Okay. What you got, God? What you think about it?
Um, so this being America, yeah, he has the right to do whatever the hell he want to do. Uh, I hold, like, for me personally, it wouldn't matter to me if 50 made the documentary, Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg. It wouldn't have mattered. Like, the context is not something that I'm interested in, so I wouldn't watch it anyway. Um, I don't like this type of entertainment or media, because of what Season just said. He ain't gonna be able to get from underneath this thing. From my perspective, from my point of view, um, R. Kelly got arrested, went to trial for all that sex stuff, and got off. Right? They said he didn't do it. Of the original, back when it came out a long time ago. But
Oh,
Mm.
then
okay, yeah.
but then a movie comes out, and then all of a sudden people see the movie, and now the movie makes people demand justice, and now he's in prison, in my mind, for the same things that he got off for, in front of a judge, right? And I don't like that, because I don't know what's real and what's not real, right? Because it seemed like, for forever people been talking about how weird Hollywood is, and how weird the music industry is, and how satanic, and all the different cults and Illuminati, and they take your manhood and all this stuff. Like we say all these things, and we stand on it as our core beliefs. Like, I'm not gonna sell out, I'm not gonna do these things. But then we run and watch this stuff as if it's not real, until somebody make a documentary. And I don't know, I don't like it. I find that it's lazy. um it kind of come like the Epstein files for me, right? Like, as soon as you say somebody was dealing with children, I'm good on that. Like they evil, right? Like soon as you say that person was with them and they friends or they buddies or whatever, I'm saying if that's the truth, then I'm good with that alone. I don't need to go actually find videotape of them doing something monstrous to a child to want to condemn them for something that I think is monstrous in the first place. Right. So that's what it's just me. Like I say, support your interests and live. And to your question, is it right that 50's doing this or wrong? Um, you have to, like this is America, man. Make your money. Black on black crime sells. This ain't a crime, right? Because he sold a product. He made a product and he sold it, and people are clearly watching it. So the people are saying that he's not wrong.
I don't know what people you watching, but that's why I asked y'all the question.
I haven't seen
Because
I haven't seen anything on it. Like I don't know.
because social media is saying it's wrong. Some people saying it's wrong. Some people saying your perspective. Like, hey, it's a free country. You can make a documentary. It isn't an autobiography. It isn't a biography. It is just a documentary. And it is. That's why I asked. That's why I posed the question, since put 50 on the top 5, dead or alive. But but definitely, I understand both of y'all's perspectives on it, and and me looking at it from the lens of covering it through social media with, like Cold Seasons was saying, with them having so many business ties together and the personal relationships where, we saw one of 50's children's mother, being a companion of Diddy, and all of the things that, came out in the court case or whatever. We saw that. And then there is a history of Puff, at least 50 insinuating that he got hit on by Diddy, asking him to take him shopping.
I remember that.
Right? So, when you look at that, if we look at the inception of that, okay, where 50 felt some type of way, like you hitting on me and like I'm not, 50 has on, it is public information where he is called Puffy a fruit cup,
Correct.
So when you think that way of a person, okay, and then this person says, well, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna take your son's mother and I'm gonna do this to her because I know that she's easily influenced. Okay. Then when you look at that, then all of this stuff about 50 being petty and things like that, like I get it. He trolls. He's the biggest troll, one of the best trolls.
Mm-hmm. He good at that shit.
Right? But when I look at the documentary, like it is personal. Because for one, if I'm 50, you made an advance at me. And I told you I don't do that. Then you were so upset and jealous of my success and the things that I do that you tried to find something weak and tried to attack me. And Puff was successful. Because one of the another things I hate about this hip hop culture is how everybody wants to sleep with your wife. I'm fucking your bitch. I'm fucking your girl. I got your baby mama. Yo bitch is my bitch is your baby mama. Them words sound familiar?
Yeah.
Or I'm fucking your wife, type shit. So like that shit I don't like. So, and I hate it. You know, like, there's plenty of women out here to go find your own woman. You know, it's not saying be disciplined, you know, and not be a heathen out here, not be, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. You know what I'm saying? That's because that's what that shit is. That's what that shit is being.
Is unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. You know, it's nothing classy about that. It's nothing that's jazzy about that. That's some heathen shit. That's some, I'm so focused on my little head that my big head can't get the stuff that I need to get accomplished in my life so I could have something. So I could have some stability. So I could wake up and feel like I'm accomplishing something. But I can stick my thing in something though, right? Because the women are easily manipulated because they not focused on nothing for themselves. They thinking that the man is going to be able to give them an opportunity other than to get fucked. You know? So it's very personal. And that's why I don't think that it's a problem with it, because like Cold Season was saying, if they going tit for tat after you do all that, you know, like, is it more so about he can't get back now? Because he's still going to be a free man. Yeah, he going to be a registered sex offender. But when he come home, he's still going to be a free man. So he can still try to do whatever he can do once he gets free. You know, they can keep the foolishness ongoing. What's done is done. So that's why I'm with the understanding of justification for 50's actions. You know, looking at how he's personally affected. All right. I can see that. But then I also side with people saying that we as black people need to not be putting foot on each other's neck, especially kicking each other when we down or trying to purposely do things to harm each other.
Mm-hmm.
Treating each other like niggas and bitches, pimps and hoes. So yeah, there is an understanding of the things that have happened. That don't mean that I agree with it. That don't mean it's justifiable. That's just understanding why these things have taken place. But is there a way that they both can be better? There is a way that they both can be better just by doing different things. But what's done is done. So there have to be some healing, you know, and ain't neither one of them dead. 50 still alive. Diddy's in prison. They'll both be able to, at some point in time, either reconcile or just live their lives and not deal with each other. You know, and whatever that looks like, that's still peace. You know, but everybody's guilty. It ain't no one person didn't do this or no one person didn't do that. You know, so that's some shit that came from hip hop. We just wanted to talk about it because it's wild. It's wild. That's what we getting out of hip hop. So our last question of the night: is the word hip hop bad, good, or misunderstood? And we're going to go to Cold Seasons to answer this first for us.
Bad, good, or misunderstood? I definitely think it's good, the word hip hop. But I will also put in misunderstood as well. I probably most likely wouldn't add bad to it. I think it's good because as we said earlier today about some things, it's a gap, it's bridged the gap in so many different ways. And I think it's nothing but goodness that comes out of that. I think it overweigh any bad that may come, you know. But I think when people hear the word hip hop, you don't automatically think it's bad. I think back in the day they probably thought, oh yeah, these hooligans, you know, they up to it again. They at it again, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's definitely a good thing. And it can be misunderstood, but I think so many people, like we talked about earlier today, is all around the world. I think so many people have gravitated to it that, you know, it's good. It's a good thing in my eyes.
Okay, so Code C's got the word hip hop being as good. What you got, God?
Yeah, peace. I agree with
Peace, God.
Steve. I agree with C's, right? I do agree that it's good, like, and mostly because it's ours, right? It's something that we did, and I love myself and I love my expression, and I'm not afraid of my reflection, right? If I don't like what I see, then I change clothes, right? I go take a shower and I shave. I do something different, right? I don't bleach my skin, right? So um I also agree with Caesar would say is misunderstood uh, for the simple fact that the business aspect, that industry that you mentioned, right? Like that allows for the misunderstanding, right? Because it takes away from whatever the initial intent may have been, and includes and adds on another element that somebody else controls the value of, and that value becomes the leading value of all of the of over all the other elements, right? Like it's like that sixth one becomes more powerful than the other five, when in reality it's the other five that allows for this sixth one to exist, right? Because yeah, you know, you need people to sell to, but if nobody want to hear it in the first place, if you in your house practicing and somebody beating on the damn drawer on a roof talking about, hey, turn that shit off, you know, stop, or they coming downstairs, like you got to be allowed to express yourself, right? And we do that. So, and I think that the music business tricks us into thinking that whatever they can just put a stamp on it, the word hip hop, because they said it and because enough people use that word, it becomes it. And I think that makes it misunderstood, right? Like that sixth element is confusing as hell.
No doubt. So we got misunderstood, we got good, and we got good, we got good and good, we got good and good and misunderstood. And I'm gonna rock out with our special guest tonight and the guy Ali Dabudel. That it is very, very misunderstood, based on a lot of the things that you both were saying. And I'm just going to stand on the misunderstood, because we don't have enough variety, you know. And the history isn't taught. The history isn't, it just isn't continually encouraged to know like where this came from. We in a culture now where people don't value elder wisdom, and it isn't encouraged to be taught. You know, there's so much jealousy and I want what you got, but I ain't willing to do the work for it. You know, but I don't want you to have it. And we get these things from hip hop. We getting these bad things from hip hop. We getting all of this. I don't need to communicate. I just need to lash out and murder, you know, or I need to communicate toxically, and then you're supposed to excuse my inability to be able to communicate and forgive me and allow me to just, and then allow yourself to become conditioned to be treated that way. you know. Like it's just really, hip hop is just, it's fucking black people up bad. And I don't see the good. I don't see all the good. I could see a portion of the good, but I don't see the greater good. And I'm a person who likes to see the good, all the good, even if like that saying, players fuck up. Yeah, things happen. People do, people make mistakes. But a mistake is something that you're supposed to learn from and then do better. And we're not getting that in hip hop. We're not getting a elevation. We're getting a transgression. Because if it was unity, yo, be a father. If not, why bother, son? If it was, we all in the same gang. Don't you know we need to get ourselves together? You know what I'm saying? If that's what the messages were, and now it's, shoot 'em up. My thing, my booty hole this, my coochie hole that color. I'm sliding, I'm stepping, I'm this, I'm doing all these drugs. Like, look at the difference. Where's the good? Is it getting better? That shit don't look like better. And I say this to say this. I don't care what you have done. All right. Anyone who has children, if you are a parent who values improvement and hold yourself accountable for your mistakes, you don't want your child to make the same mistakes that you did. So any responsible parent does not want their child. If you grew up in the hood, you don't want your child to grow up in the hood. If you grew up having to steal and you grew up having to fight all the time, you don't want your child to go through that. So then how do you encourage listening to music that promotes the same shit that you have had to, because we ain't been given no reparations, we ain't been given no breaks. Hip hop ain't gave us that. All we have is our bootstraps. And the hip hop ain't giving us ain't encouraging no bootstrap. It's encouraging fraud, drug abuse, murder, over sexualization. That's what it's doing. The majority of it. Not every now and then you get a good Cole record, you get a good Kendrick record, a good Drake record, a good this record. You know what I mean? Like, not them selective records, but the majority of the shit that's being pushed. I had to step on this. I'm trapping on this. It's a big thing right now with a lot of the couple of rappers in Atlanta, like especially Young Thug. He's talking about fuck the streets. And I watched the podcast. Shout out to DJ Academics. Where like this was a whole debate. This was a whole thing. If that's something that should be real, and it's other rappers who like, nah, don't fuck the streets and this, and how you gonna say fuck the streets and all that? Man, like, people gotta grow the fuck up. And if ain't nothing in the streets but death and destruction, a prison or a coffin, and you wanna have life, you wanna get older, because you gonna get old, keep living. But you want your tomorrow to look better than your yesterday. You don't want your kids to grow up in the same type of conditions and had to go through the same type of shit. Then you gonna say fuck the streets. Especially if the streets is gonna cause me to not be with my child, not be able to provide for my child to have that future that I want for them to have, that I desire for them to have, being a responsible and good parent. So until hip hop fully encourages that, fully, promotes that narrative, not this perpetuation of destroying the black family, I'ma say, it's misunderstood, misguided. It needs a renovation. Hip hop need a renovation. It need to be renovated. But that's all our questions for this evening tonight, y'all. We were smoking on the word hip hop, and we had 5 questions tonight, as we always do. What do you think of when you hear the word hip hop? What are your likes, loves, and hates about hip hop? Is hip hop the most powerful form of music today? Why not? Who are your top 5 hip hop artists, dead or alive, and why? Is the word hip hop bad, good, or misunderstood? Let us know in the comment section below. We want to thank our special guest, Cold Season, for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome to pull back up with us anytime, and and chop it up with us each and every Sunday right here on Cigar Sundays Live. You got anything you want to say before we drop you down, Cole?
Nah, man, I just want y'all to keep doing what y'all doing, and I like what I see. It's looking really nice.
That's what's up. Well, we appreciate you, God, for pulling up tonight, and we'll chop it up, big cuz. Peace.
Yeah, peace.
Peace.
Yep, so that's all we got tonight. Peace, shout out to Sid's Way, pulled up in the chat.
Peace, God.
And once again, we not the gurus here, but if you see something in the ashtray, pick it up and have a smoke. If you don't, leave it for somebody else for when they come through. We appreciate y'all pulling up. And don't forget about our Christmas show on Christmas Day. We're going to be discussing, is Christmas bad, good, or misunderstood? Also, make sure to have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week, y'all. It's going to be a good week, holiday, everybody be safe if you're traveling. Cook some good food and stuff, and share some good time with family and friends. And I'm Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV with the guy Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm. Also, one more time before we leave, y'all. 25% off all merch at the DBCHEFTV gift shop. Link is in description from now until January 5th at midnight. And then also, we got 1016 160 self-sustainability right now, hot off the presses. Go grab your copy at www.bksoulfarm.com. We appreciate you. And we know it's the holidays. If money's tight, it's all right. You can do something free and just smash the light. And we appreciate y'all for that. Always love until Christmas Day. Until Christmas Day, we'll see y'all. All right. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
It's the most wonderful time of the year again, where families make new memories, share old memories, and celebrate the new year. So visit the DB Chef TV gift shop for the best stocking stuffers to add to your holiday cheer. Enjoy 25% off our entire site now through January 5th, 2026.
At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude. At Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigarden Panel. Smoking on words like two big nerds. Hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.